Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. For today, as I'm sure you can tell from the title, we're continuing my Natasha Denona series. I don't have too many palettes left. I'll post a picture up here. Once we get down to about 3, I'll put a poll up on my community tab so that you can all vote on which brand we can do next. If you are new here, hi, hello, I give you an extra warm welcome. And in case you're just jumping into my channel with this video, I started a series where I used every single eyeshadow palette that I owned from a specific brand. It started with Pat McGrath. I finished that. Now we're on to Natasha Denona. Once I finish that, we'll move on to the next brand. So I would love it if you can click the subscribe button and stay for a while so you could be a part on voting for the next brand for me to do for this series. And if you're a returning viewer, I love, adore, and appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for coming back. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with this eye look. Alright my lovelies, I am back, and as you can see, face is halfway done. Laura Mercier Skin Tint in the matte finish mixed with the Surratt Dewdrop Foundation. I will link exact shades down below, I always do. ABH Concealer, ABH Contour Stick, Simi Haze Cream Bronzer, MAC Cosmetics Strobe Liquid Blush in Magic Aura, and I mixed a tiny bit of the new Rose Skin Pocket Blush in Date Cake. Powdered my under eyes with the Charlotte Tilbury Blush and Powder Duo Face Palette, and then I used the peach one to powder parts of my face and used the Givenchy Prisme Libre pressed powder for the other areas that I didn't use the Charlotte. 03 Rose something. Yeah, Rare Beauty Eye Primer. Okay, for today's eye look, we're gonna use the Mini Nude palette. I have like 2 or 3 other ones, as you saw in the picture, that look very similar to this. So I'm going to try to mix it up so that you don't get back-to-back eye looks that look pretty much identical. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be a pretty standard eye look, a very simple kind of eye look. I will probably end up using, well, maybe, because there's 3 shimmers and only 2 mattes. Let's start with the darkest brown. I mean, these little palettes are super practical, but they can look pretty repetitive if you have all of them, you know? This is the Victoria Beckham number 21 eye brush. And I'm just going to... Ooh, there's a new eye look style I want to try, and probably this eye look was probably the one to try it with. The next one. Okay, super pretty. Pretty much blends out on its own. Okay, now I'm going to use this fluffy Elamore Cosmetics and jump into the lightest matte. Use this on the edges and in my crease, but only bringing it in to about here. I'm not going all the way in. Oh, I probably should have brought you closer. Let me do that. Let's go. Okay, so there's 3 different shimmers. I for sure want to use this one here because it's just so pretty, and it's not gold, it's more of a neutral, almost bronzy kind of shimmer. It's so pretty. NYX glitter glue is on. No, you do not need to use NYX glitter glue. You see how pretty? Okay, now I think I'm gonna go for this one because this is pretty warm. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go for the lighter one, and then I'm probably gonna jump in to a different palette for the inner corner. And this one is more of a metallic kind of shimmer. And this bronzy one, I feel has a slight shift to it. Like maybe it has some duochrome properties. Just a tiny bit, not too shifty. Okay, I'm gonna jump into the Morgan Turner and Odin's Eye and use the lightest matte Service. Use that as my inner corner shade. I have like 10 maybe 12 palettes here on my filming desk, and I try to rotate whatever palettes I have out. But this one just called out to me because of this inner corner shade today. All right, let me finish off the eye look and I'll be right back. All right, my lovelies, here is the full completed eye look and makeup. Battery's low, of course it is. Hold please. All right, battery is changed. Let me tell you what else I went into as far as makeup goes. I used the What's Up Beauty Baked Pressed Bronzer, and I did also use the Westman Atelier Blush and Contour Duo. Petal and Biscuit used both powder contour and the Petal powder blush. Topped it off with the Say New Blush in Chow. For eyebrows, I have on the Gucci Brow Pencil Makeup by Mario Brow Gel. Still don't enjoy that brow gel. I just don't. It is not a favorite, and I will not be repurchasing it. The new Dior Luminizer Pink Halo. Been loving that highlighter. It's a reformulation because I think they took talc out. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it is a new formulation, and I think it might be my favorite formulation so far when it comes to Dior powder highlighters. It's just so beautiful, like, oh, perfection. Mascara, the new MAC Elevated Mascara. Still also not a favorite. For lips, Anastasia lip liner in Raisin and the Maybelline Teddy Tint in Current Mood, and I think that's everything. Yeah, okay, so here is the full completed eye look with this mini nude palette from Natasha Denona. Now, I feel like you can definitely switch it up with just the small little palette, because if you use this shimmer instead of this one that I used for this eye look, it could be a little bit more on the warm tone side and you will change it up a tiny bit. So I feel like the fact that there's 3 shimmers in this little mini palette kind of guarantees that you are for sure going to get 2 different eye looks. I enjoy this matte formulation. I enjoy Natasha Denona eyeshadow formulations in general. Out of the high-end eyeshadow palettes that I purchase from, Natasha is up there in my favorites. You don't have to agree. I know there are some people that don't think Natasha Denona's formulation is that great, and that's totally okay. That is your personal opinion. But for my taste, my likes and dislikes, for my age, for my oily eyelids, Natasha Denona formula is absolutely stunning. I don't think we got this matte formula in the newest midi palette that she gave us. I think this matte formulation might be gone for now. I do enjoy this one, and I also enjoy the new formulation that she has presented us with. I just feel Natasha Denona in general has a beautiful formula, and she keeps changing things up. At least I feel like she is. All right, let me know if this is a mini palette that you own from Natasha Denona, or if you own any. I definitely feel like these are the way to go, especially if you've never tried the formula. You don't have to commit to like a $69 eyeshadow palette. This is $29, so less money. And if you don't like it, then you don't have this big old palette that you're not using. You just have this little small palette that you can be like, all right, I guess I'll use it, you know? All right, my lovelies, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. You have no idea, all the comments, all the likes. If you use my links to shop, it truly all does mean the world to me. Literally all the likes, if you share my videos, if you comment, every single interaction helps out my channel so much. I'm excited to finish off the series with the Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes I have. So yeah, okay, with that being said, do not forget to give the video a big thumbs up, and also don't forget to click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you all on my next video. Bye.